Good morning and welcome back for another FSD video. This will be my first drive with FSD 14.2.2.5, and I have a flight to catch this morning, so we're going to be headed to the airport. So I am going to let it do the entire thing end to end today. And somebody asked in the comments, like, how at MSP airport can I pick between the different ramps? So if I just in the Tesla nav type in MSP, you'll see that I get a bunch of destination options there. And if I hit view more destinations, I can pick even more. And that includes the ramp that I normally park at, which is the red daily parking ramp. So we're going to hit that and let's get on our way here. So I don't expect a whole lot to have changed, between 2.2.4 and 2.5, but we will give it a shot and see for ourselves. So as you'll see here, sometimes I notice that when we go to the airport, it wants to take a left off my street and not a right for whatever reason. But at the end of the day, it doesn't make that much of a difference. But it's been super warm here the last few days, so all the snow and ice that have been on the side streets here in St. Paul has pretty much all been melted, which has been awesome. We're going to have a little bit of a tight squeeze here on this truck. FSD gets over like it should. Give some space. Awesome. So it's been kind of nice to see all the snow and stuff melt. It's just been kind of a mess with the side streets. It gets really rough. So until you get on like the main thoroughfares, like Cleveland here. So, but overall though, we've had like spring weather, which has just been a breath of fresh air so far. Just compared to the winter we've had, it's been a pretty normal average winter here. But like any Minnesotan, as soon as you get to that was interesting. I didn't even see that person there to the left. Car did a great job of slowing down. There was nobody behind us either. So as soon as we started slowing, I looked at my rearview mirror first. But nice to give way to the pedestrian there. People appreciate that. But getting back to the weather, it's been perfect the last few days. It's supposed to get cold again, so ironically enough, just as I'm about to head to Florida for a few days, but we're getting close to the legitimate spring being here. Maybe a few more weeks. I'm hoping we can see full spring here in March. But it'd be nice to do some non-winter driving with FSD again, as exciting as it's been. I have a big road trip planned here coming up. I'm going to try to see if I can record, that whole drive, but I'm going to, let FSD do as much of it as it can. So we'll be driving from St. Paul here all the way down to Northport, Florida. That's coming up here in a couple weeks. So I'm going to be going down there to watch some NHRA and going to go to the 12 hours of Sebring for the first time. So I'm excited for both of those things. But I was going to fly, and I'm like, why would I fly when I have FSD and free supercharging? So, why not? So I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that we see version 14.3, maybe an early iteration of it by then. I'm not sure if it's going to take a little bit longer for them to bake that release, at least the first public release of that lineage. But I'm really looking forward to seeing some bigger updates now. We've seen a lot of polishing to the 14.2 branch so far, and these builds are pretty good, right? Like I'm definitely not giving it enough credit there, but compared to 13, I'd say even they're mostly better. The only couple things that I think really need to be snuffed out, really, like that I still have problems with, are parking logic, being able to say oh, it's a handicap spot, I can't park here unless there's a setting turned on. Being able to park in my garage, the car still will not pull all the way in. Would love to see a back in park option. That's my preference every time I park, is I back in. And then when you're making a right turn onto a multi-lane road, this is one my friend Nick had mentioned recently, and I don't have as many of those roads around here, but I've definitely noticed the behavior. 13 was better when there's laterally approaching traffic at discerning what lane they're in, and if they're not in the lane we're going to merge into, the car would intelligently go. 14 seems to be a bit of regression in that area overall. It was really noticeable in the earlier 14.1 builds, because the car would do that choppy brake throttle input back and forth for a while. And that to me just showed it was very uncertain about what it was seeing from the pillar cameras and whatnot. And being able to judge traffic coming in those directions was always seemed like a big challenge for that series of builds. But 14.2 is much better, but still there's some work to be done there. So, and then last but not least, the speed profiles. I would say they're much better now, at least at certain highway speeds. I did a post not too long ago on X, maybe a week or so ago, where I kind of commented about my observations with the speed profiles so far and kind of how I see them performing. And it comes down to when you're on, highways like interstates and you're doing, 60 miles an hour or above, at least with the standard profile, it seems to be very consistent and repeatedly pick good offsets. Like in 70 mile per hour zones, you'll see it do 75 almost every single time, which is perfect. Maybe a little bit faster, but as long as it's consistent and predictable, that's the biggest thing. 65 mile per hour zones, you'll do about 72. And then I think 60 mile per hour zones, it's like 67, 68, somewhere around there is kind of where it always ends up landing. But basically, like, that's what we want to see is just a consistent, repeatable behavior. And I know it's an end-to-end based approach, so they're creating these profiles by showing the model, repeated clips in similar, road layouts of, vehicles going a certain speed, right? That's how they're able to train that into the system. So it seems like they've definitely done a good job of focusing on highway, but the offsets that they pick for roads that are, I would say, like 55 miles per hour and under, they need some work. I see a lot less consistency on those roads. And to be fair, maybe there's just more variations of like, lane layouts, things like that, that would cause it to think that. But like, like right now, we're in a 25 mile per hour zone. We're doing 30 miles per hour now. But if there is a little bit of snow, even if it's like a 40-degree day, it doesn't seem to take temperature or anything like that into account. And we pick like an offset where the car will barely do 25 miles per hour. And sometimes it like bleeds down to like 24. And human drivers, we always want to go like, 3 to 4 over. So I think at least with the standard profile, what we're doing now is what we should be doing on every 25 mile per hour zone. Unless it's like, the roads are completely covered in ice, there's snow, it's like a foot of snow, stuff like that, then obviously slow down. But otherwise, I don't see a reason why we need to be so variable with the offsets. So, but yeah, I would say between 25 and 55, doing 5 over, I mean, is probably not a bad starting point if you just wanted to train it that way. That would make a lot of sense in pretty much all those zones, just for consistency's sake. Again, barring road conditions. So if the road conditions are icy or super wet, maybe you slow down a little bit, but that's it. I mean, I feel like that's the thing they got to fix next. And that, in my opinion, I think from all the comments I get for the FSD content I put out there, people seem to complain the most about the speed profile. So if Tesla wants to make the biggest impact to usability, I feel like that's where their, training time should be spent, in my opinion, and fine-tuning. Hopefully they've definitely factored that into 14.3. And, maybe the additional reasoning they're going to add into the model going forward will help that behavior just by default. So I'm very interested to see kind of how this is all going to shake out here with this next major release that's set to come, hopefully very, very soon. And I've been talking a lot, but this is a short drive, so only a few more minutes longer here. But we're hopping on to MN5 here, and as I've stated before, this is an interesting little setup here. There's a little bit of a kink at the end of this on-ramp, and then there's like sudden visibility of the lanes to our left. And that is one loud, annoying Mustang. It does not sound that great, to be honest with you. I like loud cars. It's always the Mustangs that are super obnoxious and a lot of times not very fast. But I digress. Back there, though, the car did a great job of entering the MN5 here without slowing down. Normally, what I've seen in 2.2.4 and previous builds of 2.2, the car would excessively slow there, and we would, it wasn't ever unsafe. It was just excessive, in my opinion, right? And compared to what human drivers would do. I had auto wipers turned off with my sexy buttons there, so that's why I had to turn that on. But this time we stayed above 30, so that might be an improvement area. Definitely be testing that over the next couple of weeks just to confirm. But that is a potential improvement with this build, so pretty cool. Hopefully that sticks around. Obviously, I want to test these sort of things, in multiple different situations just to confirm, just because conditions can obviously play a part in it too, and it has warmed up, so maybe there's less snow on the side. The car sees that and carries a little bit more speed. I'm not sure. So one thing I've noticed when we pull into parking ramps, when you have the little payment, terminal that you have to get your ticket from or whatever, or scan your credit card. One thing I've noticed is that, at least with the Model S, it doesn't pull up close enough just because we sit a bit lower. I feel like it's almost tuned for the Model Y. But we'll see how it does today. I know my friend Zach always posts some cool parking ramp videos with the Model Y, and it always pulls up like just perfect distance away. So, and I get why. I mean, there's so many Model Ys on the road. Their data sets are definitely a bit better for the Y than they are the S. So, not entirely surprising. So it looks like it wants us to exit on the left here. Let's see where it goes here. It should go straight. And if we turn to the left here, this is actually going to put us in the silver ramp. Let's see where it goes here. All right, we're going to have to go up ahead. And now the fun part is here, there's a closed lane up here. So let's see if it picks a green lane. All right, off to a good start. And we're picking one that just freed up too. This is pretty cool. I think I should be able to reach from here. Let's see if it pulls up a little bit. Oh, that is so cool. It nailed it. That is so cool. All right, one sec, you guys. All right. That was really cool. It nailed it this time. So that's something that definitely was not there before. It would always pull too far away from those terminals, and I had to like open my door to get to it, which would disengage FSD. So, all right. So this is going to the blue ramp. So we were supposed to stay to the right for the red. I don't really care because all these go to really the same place. So, this is a navigation thing, if anything. The navigation data is probably not super up to date. I've noticed that before with the airport here. I'm just going to flip my camera on here so I can watch the curb on the other side. And I recognize that was closed here. We're going to probably have to go up to the top here. And that one's closed as well. This is like the first ramp in the series here where like that always gets filled up the first or the fastest. So you can see the car kind of turns wide every time it wants to go and try one of those out, and they're all showing as closed. So, and yeah, this is gonna try to go through this here. I'm just pulling over to the side here. This kind of failed out. Didn't see the ramp, the gate there. 1 second here, I gotta clear this out. All right, well, we can consider that a fail. It was doing a really good job, though, so far of avoiding those gates there. So 2 issues on this drive here. Basically, the car obviously should have seen that gate. I don't know if it just figured it couldn't. If it just kept going, as you can see here, there was one open. But nonetheless, the speed's got to be a little higher. We were doing about 7. I think we got to go about 10 or so here to mimic a human driver. But nonetheless, the fact that it did the payment terminal properly with the Model S there was an improvement from what I've seen in the past. This is kind of a tricky ramp by itself anyways, but I would say an improvement, at least with the payment terminal. Obviously, we still got some work to do once we get in the ramp, but I'm very eager to come back and redo that test at 14.3. So I'm going to go find some parking here and catch my flight. We'll definitely be redoing this one in the future, though. So, honestly, I'm kind of happy we saw some failures here just because I expect some bigger improvements here with some of the, future major releases, especially with 14.3 once that is ready. So anyways, thank you for watching, and I will see you on the next one.